Hi, this is Stephen Johnson with WordPress and today we'll be installing WordPress at Rochen Hosting using the standard WordPress installer. There are a few extra steps, but you'll get a much better knowledge of how WordPress works and how it's put together. It's not too bad, so let's go ahead and get started. Before you begin, you'll need a Rochen account, which goes without saying. Once you've signed up, they will send you a welcome email that will give you a Rochen username and password. And the last item you need to have done ahead of time is your DNS configured, which just means you have your domain name pointed towards the Rochen servers. If you aren't sure how to do this, contact Rochen Tech Support and they'll be happy to walk you through it. Step 1, download WordPress from WordPress.org. You want to go to WordPress.org/download to get the latest version of WordPress. Note, at the time of this recording, WordPress 3.2.1 is the most current version and is being installed. In the future, it'll be a higher version number, and you should install the most current version of WordPress. Step 2, go to the Rochen control panel. You want to go to your domain name /cpanel. Here you'll enter in the Rochen username and password that was supplied in your welcome email from them. Once you've entered that information, click Login. Step 3, launch File Manager. Now that you've logged into Cpanel, let's scroll down to the File section and click the File Manager's icon. This will launch the File Manager. In the pop-up window, confirm that Web Root is selected and click Go. Step 4, use File Manager to upload your WordPress package. Here you want to verify that you're in the public HTML folder, which is the top level folder for your website. Next, you'll click Upload. An upload window will pop out, and in this window you want to click Choose File or Browse. From there you'll select the WordPress install package that we downloaded in an earlier step, and then click Open. Next, you want to highlight this uploaded package and then click Extract. Now there shouldn't be anything in the top level folder except for a CGI bin folder and maybe a .htaccess folder, and you can leave both of those there if that's the case. Now we want to double click to open the newly created WordPress folder. Another way to get these files up there is the use of FTP, which can be done and is very easy to do, but is outside the scope of this tutorial. Step 5, move the files to the root directory. Now we want to select all when you are in the WordPress directory, then click Move File. You will now see a pop-up screen. In this pop-up screen, delete the word WordPress after public HTML and click Move Files. Note, this will move your WordPress installation into the top level or the root directory of the website. If you want to keep this in a subfolder for any reason, you can just change the word WordPress to whatever subfolder name you would like. If you don't have to use a subfolder, it's better keeping everything in the top level folder, as it just creates less confusion moving forward. Step 6, launch the MySQL database configuration. Now back in the Cpanel, we want to scroll down to the database section and click the MySQL databases icon. Step 7, create the MySQL database and user. The first thing to do is create the database, and at the top of the page you want to enter in the name of your new database and then click Create Database. Now we want to create our new user by entering the username and password, and this should be a unique username and unique password. So if your site were to be compromised, there are more passwords that they have to get a hold of, and it's just a good idea to keep things separate like that. The third step is to add the user to the database. So select your database and select the user and then click Add. Now you will be asked to assign privileges to this user for the database. Here you want to check all privileges and then click Make Changes. Step 8, start the WordPress install. First you want to go to yourdomain.com/wp-admin/install.php. You may find that you can just go to yourdomain.com and be automatically routed to the correct install page. Now we want to go ahead and click Create a Configuration File. Step 9, gather your database information. Here you'll need the database name, database username, password, and the host. This all can be gathered from the steps before. So click Let's Go. Step 10, enter the database information. Here you want to enter in your database name, username, password, and the database host, which will most likely be localhost and probably will already be set for you. Same with the table prefix, you want to leave this alone. As a note, the database name will be your Rochen username underscore the database name you created, and the same will be true for your database username. Once you have all that entered in, click Submit. Step 11, run the install. You will now be presented at the Run the Install screen, so click Run the Install. Step 12, configure the WordPress site settings. Alright, now we're getting to the good stuff. So let's enter in your site title, which should be 2 or 3 words that briefly describe your website. Next, enter your WordPress admin username. For our example, we're using admin, which is the WordPress default, but feel free to use something more specific to your site or yourself, as this will add more security to your WordPress install. Now that you have your username entered, let's enter your password in, which again should be a strong, unique password. Now enter your email, which should be an easily accessible email address, because password resets and WordPress notifications will be sent to this address, so you want to make sure it's something you can easily access. Now check Allow. Now you need to decide if you want your site to be indexed by Google and other sites like Technorati. Most likely you want to go ahead and do this. If you don't, just uncheck this box. Once you have all this information entered in, click the Install WordPress button. Step 13, the WordPress installation is complete. Congratulations, you now have WordPress installed. So let's go ahead and take a look at the admin interface. Now click the Login button. Step 14, log into WordPress. The most common way to get to the admin interface is go to yourdomain.com/wp-admin, and you'll enter your admin username and password and click the Login button. So congratulations, you have it all up and going. Now that you have logged into WordPress, this is what the admin interface looks like. So now you can start creating blog posts and categories, adding images, updating your theme, everything you need to do to get your site looking top-notch. Step 15, visit your new WordPress site. Now that we've logged into the administrator interface, we can now take a look at what your website looks from the front end. So you want to go to yourdomain.com and take a look at it, and you have it all up and going. So have fun building your WordPress site. Alright, so that's how we install WordPress at Rochen Hosting using the standard WordPress installer. If you found this video helpful, please like it here at YouTube and share it with your friends. If you found Rochen Hosting to be either good or bad, please leave a review at wphostingreviews.com, and it helps the site and helps others to learn. So thanks and happy blogging.